Okay, so we're going to do a little massage here now. And as I said, the reason why massage is so important, which I'll go over again, is that it stimulates the lymphatic system. It stimulates muscle tone. And it really helps it keeps the skin healthy. I love, and I know I've said this in previous videos, I love what Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say about, while ever there's movement, it keeps everything healthy because our bodies are made of more than 70% water. It's important for the water to everything to move, and that way a stream will stay clean, but when it becomes still, it gets stagnant. So movement is so important, physical movement, walking and swinging your arms and really pushing your arms back because it stimulates your lymph nodes under your arms there, and we've got the large ones too around the groin area. But movement is so important, and when a lot of my clients, when they talk about my work, will say, well, the one thing that Nerida always does is she massages my skin a lot. And when people say to me, well, how do I get that red carpet glow? It's massage your skin, just sort of really do your steps, cleanse your skin well, do your exfoliation with an absorbing exfoliant. Even the pads, you don't want to use granules. The granules are not for everybody. I mean, they certainly have their place in our business, but it's not for a lot of people because it tends to scratch the skin a little bit too much, and it can set up a sensitive slate, which we don't want to do. So we're just going to massage her skin here. And one of the questions that was asked too is that what was a really good massage for the nasolabial lines? And our nasolabial lines right here, either side of the mouth. So one of the moves is this one here, is just pulling up here, is a good move, a good massage movement for the nasolabial lines. So what I did say to Crystal earlier was, because she does have a little bit of fine facial hair, we want to make sure that she's doing her circular movements, because we want her to get underneath that hair where she gets a little bit grey and where she's got a little scarring on her cheek areas. So we want to make sure she's doing her movements in circular motion, just as I'm doing right now. Okay, so I would normally massage her skin. She doesn't have a lot of congestion under her skin. What Crystal has more, she's got a few little spots, but it's not major. She doesn't have a lot of congestion. But what I would say, normally I would massage her skin for at least 15 minutes because I really want to work that retinol that I put on first into her skin. So Crystal, is massaging your skin, is that something that you've ever done at home yourself?
No, I've actually never heard about massaging my skin before. It's really interesting, but I will now.
Now, if you did not have scarring and you had more congestion, massaging is not necessarily for someone who's really super oily with a lot of congestion. This type of massage is not for that skin. Okay. But to help the movement and to help her skin to get to these areas here where she needs healing, it's important that she massages skin. She does not have a lot of congestion, so it's mostly scarring is her issue. So we're going to finish off the massage here now, and I'll do my little zigzag before we stop. Something that's important to remember is, for estheticians out there, that when you are massaging, if your client can feel everything. So if you do massage over here to the right and you do a little few minutes on her temple, when you go back, you better make sure you do exactly the same, in that you go over here to the left and you're going to spend another, little bit of time here on this temple here to make up for it. So sometimes when I see estheticians working, sometimes the movements on one side of their face is a little bit different on to the other side, or they spend more time on one side. So I just want to point out that your client feels everything, and just to be really thorough with everything you do, with your cleansing, with your massage movements. It is a really important, it shows you know what you're doing as a professional, so that's
very
important.
true, because
Yes.
I notice that every single time. If they spend more time on one side than the other.
It's like, oh no, she missed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've massaged her skin now. I'm going to do a light little warm towel coverage over to take off the bulk here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a mask that I want to show you a little bit about some different mask techniques here and how I would work on as a brightening mask on Crystal. So if you are going to be using a mask that is a drying mask, you want to make sure on someone that tends to be a little bit surface dry that you don't want to let it set hard on the skin. So only on a true oily skin, that means oily underneath and oily on top, it doesn't have the subcondition of surface dry, can you let a mask set hard. So Crystal, we've massaged the skin, we've taken off a little bit of the excess. How are you feeling right now with your skin with what we've done?
It feels definitely a lot better.
A lot better? Wonderful. So I'm going to put on a mask. The mask I'm going to use is a drying mask, but I'm not going to let it dry hard on the skin because, as I said, she's a little bit surface dry, so I want to make sure my mask is not drying. And you can use a stick if you like to get it out. I like to pour it, this one here. So we're just going to put this on. I've still got my steam going on the skin. I'm going to use a little bit of healing gel with it as I go here. Sometimes it gets a little goopy, so I want to make sure that we have less goop. Now, I know a lot of people like to use a mask brush, which is perfectly fine. I don't like to use a lot of utensils when I'm working on clients. I don't like to use the brushes, only for a couple of reasons. One is because I feel I can work faster with my hands, and usually I've got so much to do when I'm working with somebody's skin that I like to work as quickly as I can, and also I'd have less cleaning. Brushes require cleaning and sterilization, so I personally prefer to use my fingers. I'm putting on a nice thick layer. This one here is a purifying mask. If you leave it on the skin for some time, it's going to set hard. But I don't want it to set hard on Crystal's skin because I don't want her to have that dry outer layer. So we're not going to let this one set hard. She gets a little grey in colouring, and what's nice is that she can use a mask that sort of really helps to purify her skin, that has a nice finish. It's a nice finishing treatment on the skin, but also that has a brightening effect, and it just, again, it helps to aid in lightening her brown spots. So I'm leaving the steam on her just for a little bit longer, and that's just going to help get it into the skin, and then I'm going to turn the steam off and let it dry for a little bit. This particular iPad, there are so many great iPads out there, but this particular iPad it has a lot of hyaluronic acid on it, and it's just really nourishing. So I'm just going to put that up over top of the mask because I don't want that mask around her eye area to dry. So we're just going to grab another little iPad here, and again, these particular pads are ones that are soaking in hyaluronic acid. We just want to make sure, there's so many great iPads out there. So again, I'm not here to advertise any particular brand, but we just want to make sure that that doesn't dry up around the eye area. So While this is on her skin, I would do usually a hand or foot treatment. So what I would like to do is do one of her arms with that exfoliant that I mentioned earlier, which has a nourishing effect on the epidermis. So we're going to compare the other arm. So I'm going to do that while the mask is on her skin. So I'm just going to massage her arm. This particular scrub is a nourishing scrub, so what we're doing is we're getting rid of the dry, dead cells on her arm, and that's going to help improve the texture of her skin so it's not brown and blotchy. And she has a little bit of blotchiness on her skin because she has so much surface dryness on her skin. So what's really important for Crystal to do on a regular basis is exfoliate her skin, her body, with little granules or a dry brushing or something, granules that have a nourishing effect on the skin, not a salty drying effect. Now I know you can't feel it through the camera, but let me tell you, it is so different from feeling her other arm. So how can you see through the camera the two arms there to be able to compare? I mean, I know, Crystal, you can feel a big difference, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to touch that with your right hand so you can feel the difference?
For sure. I could see it.
And see the other one's flat? You see the colouring of her skin? Flat and hydrated, but yet exfoliated. It feels amazing because it's so hydrated. This is drier and very nice.
It does. It looks great.
Okay, so that's what she needs to do on a regular basis to keep the skin nice and healthy, but it's not going to overnourish the area. So, okay, so we're going to remove the pads and remove her mask. I don't want to let it dry on her skin. I normally would leave it on, as I said earlier, about 8 minutes while I do a hand and arm massage. So we're going to take it off now and finish up. I'm just going to peel off this iPad here too. And sometimes what's really nice, because people's eyelids get really dry as well, it's nice to put a pad on the upper lid as well as underneath. And that's a really nice little treatment too for the whole eye area, because when you put on an eye product, you should always be putting it on your eyelids as well. Not too far down onto the lower lid, but you should definitely be putting it up here around this area so that you're really protecting the skin everywhere around that eye area.
How long do you think it will take for the darker spots to start to light up?
To lighten up. If you're really diligent and you're using a cleanser that's a non-foaming cleanser, and you're using a product that has a little bit of retinol in the evenings, you'll see significant difference within a couple of weeks, within 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe even early, maybe 10 days.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes.
So would you suggest me not getting any type of cleansers that are drying or...
No foaming.
No foaming.
No cleansers that... When I say foaming, and I know that people always say, but there's so many different types of foaming cleansers, but you don't want to get a cleanser that makes your skin feel tight and squeaky clean after you wash your face. You want to feel like it is soft and supple and you're able to absorb different treatment products into the skin. So I think that's the main thing there. So we're going to put a little bit of eye gel on, and then Crystal's all done, and her skin feels really nice, but we're going to give her some treatment products so that she can get working on those brown spots, and then maybe she'll send us a picture in 10 days and
definitely will.
Show us how the improvement in her skin.
I'm excited.
We're just going to put a little bit of eye gel on the top of her eyelids as well here. So, Crystal, we are all finished. You have been
Yay.
a wonderful client today.
Thank
you. And we've done just a little treatment on her to help her skin, to start her skin on a good course of lightening and brightening to get rid of some of these spots. So, how are you feeling today about your skin, and have you learned some things?
I did. I feel really great. I definitely could feel a difference in my skin already. And I'm so excited to see it, to come back and to show you my results, or to show my
yes,
picture results
please.
in
That
2
would be-
weeks of my dark spots. Yay!
That would be amazing.
Yay.
So let's all wait for that.